Hi, welcome to your Flow 60 class. So for this class, we'll be working with our water element and we'll be concentrating on movement to stillness. So in this class, we'll be strengthening the kidney and the urinary bladder functions, supporting our immunity and treating any emotional imbalances of the water element. So for this class, we'll be gradually bringing ourselves from a place of yang into yin and finding that stillness so that we can balance the water element and find that appropriate level between activity and rest, which really is quite crucial for the water element because this water element is all about drawing inwards and finding that deep rest and allowing ourselves to settle in the stillness. So for this class, we're going to be taking a bit of a slow flow approach for our yang element and then guiding ourselves into that yin stillness towards the back end of the class. I've got a couple of props with me which you might find handy. I've got 2 bricks. I've got a blanket in case I'd like that for Shavasana to keep warm, and then also a bolster just in case you would like it for the end of your class as well for your relaxation. So go ahead and grab those props and any other props that you would like to. We are moving towards stillness and having that deep breath. So if there's something in particular that you would like, maybe an eye pillow or further cushions to prop you up, then go ahead and grab those as well. So I'm going to move my props out of the way just for the time being. And I'm going to invite you to start your practice either seated or lying down on your back. And so for the seated position, you can take any variation that feels comfortable for you. Whether that's in hero pose or cross legs. And just allowing ourselves to ground into our practice first of all. I invite you to close down the eyes or soften your gaze if that feels more comfortable. Just first of all, noticing the contact points of the body as they meet the mat beneath you. Notice that gravitational pull, the stability of the floor. Finding that sense of grounding here and drawn down towards the earth. And just gently bringing your awareness to the breath. Without trying to change the breath, just simply noticing the movement of the breath in the body. Movements in the belly, the rib cage. Maybe the subtle movements in the shoulders. Gently bringing your awareness to your energy reserves. You're welcome to bring in a visualization to mark your energy reserves. Whatever comes to mind is fine. Maybe you notice it with a glass of water. How much is in that glass right now? Where would you put yourself on the scale? Are you in need of deep rest? Is it quite empty? Or is it quite full? Take a few more breaths here as you just acknowledge your energy reserves. And when you feel ready, we're going to bring ourselves round into a child's position. So finding what child's position works for you, we're going to take a brick with us. So you can take the knees out wide, you can bring the toes together, and you can take the knees together if that feels more comfortable. But we're going to bring a brick so that it's underneath our forehead. And we want the edge of the brick just to be on the very eyebrow line. So walk the hands out in front of you, resting the forehead down onto the very edge of the brick. And once I feel some sensation from the edge of this brick, allow it to press into the forehead, just so that that eyebrow line is on the very edge. And then once you're here, you can start to rock the forehead from side to side, just allowing that massage to come through, using the brick there. This is just going to stimulate our bladder line, working around our bladder 2 meridian. And if this is too much sensation, just gently easing off, or you can leave this part out. Taking some nice deep breaths here. Releasing any of that movement, and massaging, allowing the forehead to rest in a comfortable position. Take a few deep breaths there. And then when you're feeling ready, gently walking the hands back in, find yourself in a tabletop position. We're going to take ourselves into a puppy position, so you can choose to bring the hands up onto bricks if that feels good. If not, you can take it for any other variation that feels right for you. I'm going to take my palms onto my bricks, and then I'm just going to sink the heart down towards the mat. And you can either rest the forehead, the chin, or the nose onto the mat there. But that brick just allows a little bit of elevation to really get into the underarms, opening into the chest. Take a nice deep breath there. If you can open into the very front of the chest, right up through the center. And then when you're feeling ready to come out, lifting the chest, walking the hands back underneath you. You tuck the toes behind you. Just keep walking the hands until you sit on your heels. And then keeping those toes tucked, just gently sitting back, allowing the weight to come into that. Just checking if those little pinky toes are also flexed there. And you can rock from side to side here if that feels good. I'm just going to stretch into the toes here. We have lots of meridians in the feet, so allowing that activation to come through, just stimulating into the toes. And if this is a little bit uncomfortable for you, anything seated and flexing the toes back, you can use your hands in that position, is also welcome as an alternative. Take a couple breaths there. And then when you're ready, we're going to find a forward fold. So just bringing our hands to the mat and then lifting the hips, finding a forward fold at the back of your mat. Allow the head to hang, body to feel nice and heavy. You can have a nice deep bend in the legs. Just taking a couple breaths. If it feels comfortable, you can hold on to the opposite elbows. You can sway from side to side. Take some nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready to release, bring the hands back down, walking the hands out in front of you to find a downward facing dog. So pressing into the hands, the hips go nice and high. You find any movement into the legs here, maybe pedaling into them, drawing the heels down towards the earth. So finding that little bit of stretch into the back of the legs, concentrating more there as we're working into the back bladder line that runs all the way down the back of the legs. And then take a nice deep breath. Finding stillness on the exhale. And then when you're ready, take the right leg nice and high for a three-legged down dog. So lifting all the way up. A nice deep breath. Exhale as you bend the knees, step it in between the hands. Just shuffle it forward and lower down that back knee. So we're finding a low lunge here. A nice deep breath. Just allow yourself to settle first of all. You can find a little bit of movement there, backwards and forwards, side to side. And then you can bring your bricks in for a little bit of support underneath the shoulders here. We're going to move into a half split from here just to get into the whole back line of the legs. So I'm going to use my bricks as on the highest height, just to lengthen and extend the arm there. And when you're ready, you can take the hips back. So keep those back toes tucked, lengthening through that right leg. Allow those toes to just become relaxed. And then think about squeezing belly towards thigh. So you're sending the heart towards the toes. See if you can really reach through the sternum. Squeeze belly towards thighs. Lengthening even further into the back of that leg. Doesn't need to be too much to feel some sensation here. So just allow yourself to find a little bit of tug before that big stretch. Just a gentle stimulation. And then keeping the heart forward as we move, we're going to move 3 times with our breath. So inhale as you come forward, bend into the front knee. Sink the hips down if that feels welcome. Exhale as you take the hips back, lengthening into the right leg, squeeze belly towards that. Inhale as you come forwards, bending into the front knee. Exhale as you take it back. Take one more heart space forward as we move. Inhale, bend into the front knee. Exhale as you take it back. Inhale to come forwards. Release the bricks. You can plant the palms down. And then we're going to step it back to that three-legged down dog. So lifting that right leg nice and high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Try that on the opposite side. So left leg goes high this time. Take a nice deep breath there. Grounding down through that right heel. On the exhale, bend the knee, step it in between the hands. Shuffle it forward if you need to, and lower the back knee down. Just finding that settling into this low lunge. You can find some movement, you can find it with breath, side to side, front and back. Just a little bit of teasing there. And then when you're ready, you can bring those bricks back in. So taking them underneath the shoulders. An extension to our arms, bending to that front knee, lifting up through the spine. Take a nice deep breath there. And then on the exhale, making sure those back toes are tucked, send the hips back so the hips are stacking over that back knee. Lengthen through the left leg. And just allow those front toes and feet to just relax. So we're not actively pulling them back towards the face here. We're just allowing them to do what they naturally want to do here without any force. Got that nice long lengthening sensation down the back of that left leg. Send the heart, the very sternum towards the top of your mat. And then squeeze belly towards thigh. So that hinging is coming in. A few breaths here. And then as we move with our breaths on the inhale, forward bend into that front knee. You can take it as far as feels comfortable. Exhale as you take it back, lengthening back into the left leg. Inhale to come forward. Keep that heart forward as you move. Exhale, take it back. Last time with the breath. Exhale to take it back. Inhale as you come forwards into that low lunge. You can release the bricks, plant the palms, lift that back knee, and then send the left leg nice and high, three-legged dog. On the exhale, find your downward facing dog. Find any movement here as well. That's always welcome. Working into the back of the legs. Take a nice deep breath. And then looking forward, bend the knees, step or walk towards the top of your mats, taking the feet hip width apart. Take a nice deep breath here, find a forward fold. Let the head hang. And then when you're ready, simply curling all the way up to standing. Take the arms up overhead. Exhale, heart center. I'm just going to move into half sun salutations from here. So when you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale through heart center, bend the knees as you fold. Inhale to find a halfway lift. The palms can come to the shins. Find that nice strong shape. Draw the belly button in. Exhale as you fold. Inhale to curl all the way up to standing. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, heart center. Let's take two more. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale through heart center. Bend the knees as you fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Really draw that belly button in. Lift out through the crown of the head. Exhale to fold. Inhale as you curl all the way up, standing, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, heart center. Last round, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale through heart center, bend the knees as you fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Belly button draws in. Grow tall through the spine. Exhale as you fold. Inhale to curl all the way up to standing. Sweep the arms above the head. Exhale, heart center. Moving into our flow. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale through heart center. Bend as you fold. And then inhale into a halfway lift, but bring your hands to some bricks. Take a nice deep breath. Ground down through the feet, lengthen through the back of the legs. Really activate the legs here. So drawing that pulling into the quads there. Lengthen through the spine. The bricks are directly underneath our shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, fold and bend into the knees. And then from here, walk the feet so that they are hip width apart. We're going to take our peace fingers, wrap them around the big toe. Palms are facing towards each other, thumbs up towards the top of the mat. And then take a nice deep breath in as you lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the back of the legs, and then on the exhale, squeeze the belly towards the thighs, finding this forward fold. Take a nice deep breath there. Keep squeezing the belly towards the thighs. And then on the next exhale, releasing that squeeze, bending back in the knees. Bring the hands back to those bricks underneath the shoulders. So from here, start to walk the feet together. Take a nice deep breath in, lengthen through the spine, keep that shape, and then shift the weight into the left foot, lifting the right leg behind you. So the hips stay facing down towards the mat. Nice and long in that lifted leg. It doesn't need to be completely parallel to the mat. Just as long as we're nice and straight, we're pushing through that heel. We're nice and tall in the spine. Take a nice deep breath there. So we're in our supported warrior 3 variation here. And then just see what it feels like to point the toes of that lifted leg behind you. And then flex it into the foot. So keep moving between that point and flex. Notice any sensations that you can feel in the back of the leg, into the calf. A few more here. So everything is completely still except for this point and flex movement. And then keeping it in that flex position, we're going to do exactly the same thing, but bend into the knee. So drawing that heel towards the bum and then sending it back out again. Bend into the knee, heel comes towards the bum. Exhale as you extend. One more time. Extending it out. And then from here, shift the weight more into that standing leg. See if you can just lift off the hands into your warrior 3. Reach the arms forward, and then with control, start to settle down that back leg. Toes touch the floor, and then simply roll yourself back into the heels so that the arms come up towards the ceiling. We're lengthening into the legs, and we should be in our pyramid. So just take a note of that stance. You need to widen it out. Find stability. Driving down through the heels. If you need to step in to shorten that stance, then just step that back foot in. Take a nice deep breath here. Palms together, Anjali Mudra. On the exhale, take the arms behind you. Interlace the fingers. Send the heart forwards. A nice deep breath. On the exhale, hinge forwards, humble pyramid. Roll the arms up towards the ceiling if you can. Take a nice deep breath there. On the next inhale, come up with the body, release the arms, take them up overhead. Exhale, straight back into that humble pyramid. Interlace the fingers. Send the heart forward, draw the arms back, folding over that front leg. Let's take 2 more with our breath. Inhale as you release. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, interlace the fingers behind you, chest goes forwards, and then fold into that humble pyramid. Last one, inhale to come up, palms together above you. Exhale, interlace the fingers. Push through the heart and fold. Inhale to come up, palms together. And then from here, put a bend into that front knee, shift the weight forwards. Keep the hands up towards the ceiling as you draw that back leg knee up towards your hip. So you're standing in a hand to big toe variation. Palms are together towards the ceiling. And that right knee is at your hip height. Take a nice deep breath in there. And then on the exhale, see if you can take the knee out to the side. So everything stays the same. You can hold on to a wall or take the hands down to hips if that feels better. And then see if you can bring that foot into the inside seam of the standing leg. So we're making our way into our tree position. Just make sure that the heel or the sole of the foot is above the knee or below the knee. So we don't want it on the knee. Find your balance, keep that focus. And then either taking hands to heart center at the hips or opening them out, finding that balance there, standing up nice and tall, really push through that standing leg, lifting up out of the hips. Take a nice deep breath. On the exhale, draw the knee back through center, place the feet down on the mat and fold over the legs. Take a nice deep breath. Curling up to standing on the inhale. Exhale to heart center. Take that the opposite side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale through heart center, bend the knees as you fold. Inhale, hands come to the bricks underneath the shoulders. Feet are hip width apart. Lengthen through the spine, through the back of the legs. Take a nice deep breath there. Exhale as you fold, bend into the knees. And wrapping the peace fingers around the big toe once more. Palms are facing towards each other, thumbs towards the top of the mat. Take a nice deep breath in as you lengthen through the spine, send the heart towards the top of your mat, and then squeeze the belly towards thighs. See if you can lengthen and lift the hips, lengthening into the back of the legs there. Take a nice deep breath. On the next exhale, releasing that squeeze, and then taking the hands back to the bricks. So making sure you've got that stability in the bricks, make use of them there, and then walk the feet into the center line of the mat. Then shift the weight into the right foot this time. Lift that left leg. So you want to be able to feel supported. So the bricks are underneath your shoulder. Lengthen through the spine, and then lengthen through that back leg. Push through the heel. Take a nice deep breath in your supported warrior three. And then just simply noticing as you point and flex, make it nice and controlled, nice and slow. Noticing the back of the leg, sensations you can feel. Maybe you can feel it more in the calf. Take a nice deep breath. And then holding still when you next get to that flex position, pushing through the heel, as if you're pressing the sole of the foot into a wall. And then just keeping everything the same, bending into the knee. Draw the foot towards the bum. And on the exhale, extending it back out. Inhale to draw it in. Exhale as you send it out. Last time. Inhale as you come in. Exhale to extend. Then hold it here in your supported body 3. Shift the weight more into that standing leg. Start to let go of the bricks. Find that trust. And then reaching the arms forward, bending into that standing leg as you start to drop that foot down behind you. Place the toes back, roll yourself backwards so that you're dropping the heels, arms come up towards the ceiling. So we're in our pyramid stance, and just check in with that stance that you've dropped into. So if your feet are kind of on train tracks, you're in the right space. And then see if you just need to shorten that stance by stepping that back foot in. Take a nice deep breath, lengthen through the legs, the spine. Hands together. On the exhale, take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, maybe that opposite way. Draw the heart forward. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale as you fold and hinge forwards, humble pyramid. Inhale as you release the arms, take them up. Exhale, take them behind you and fold into that humble pyramid. 2 more here with the breath. Last one as you come up on the inhale. Exhale, send the heart forwards and fold. Inhaling back to that center point. Hands come up towards the ceiling, palms together. Then bend into that front knee, shift the weight forward into that right leg. And then gently lifting up, bring that left knee with you to hip height. Hand to big toe variation here, standing up nice and tall, lifting up out of the hips, reaching through the rib cage. Take a nice deep breath. And then see if you can take that knee out to the side. You can, welcome to take some assistance here. Either holding onto a hand at the wall or on a chair. And then see if you can draw that foot inwards to your tree position. You can take a hand to assist you there. Maybe you take it to the top of the leg, above the knee. Maybe you take it to the calf, or even the toes down on the mat and the heel towards the ankle. Wherever you are, take a nice deep breath in. Hands can come to heart center or hips, or placed at a wall for support. Or maybe you start to find that balance and open up into your tree position. Wherever you are, keep that focus. Take a nice deep breath. Working with this yang kidney meridian running on the inside seam of that left leg. Take a nice deep breath. And then on the next inhale, draw the knee in towards the center, placing it down. On the exhale, find a forward fold here. Then when you're ready, on the inhale, curling all the way up to standing, sweep the arms from overhead. Exhale, heart center. Taking one more round. Find the breath here. Checking with those energy reserves. And if you're ready to come down already, feel free to visualize these movements as an alternative. On an inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale through heart center. Bend the knees as you find that deep fold. Inhale to find a halfway lift. Bring the palms to the bricks. Lengthen through the spine. Draw that belly button in. Lengthen through the back of the legs and send the heart towards the top of your mat. Pushing through the sternum. Take a nice deep breath there. On the exhale, bend back into the knees and find a forward fold. And then taking the peace fingers, wrap them around the big toes. Palms face one another, thumbs towards the top of your mat. Take another deep inhale, lengthen through the spine, really send the heart and sternum towards the top of your mat there, lengthening into the back of the legs. And then on the exhale, folding even further, squeezing belly towards thighs. See if you can send the hips up, touch more towards the ceiling. Finding length down the back of the legs, the whole back ladder line. Take a nice deep breath. And then gently releasing on the exhale. Bringing the palms back to the bricks. Find that steadiness. Take a nice deep breath and then shifting the weight into the left leg, lifting the right leg up behind you. Find that warrior three. So remember that the hips are facing down towards the mat. We're starting out with that heel being pressed behind us as if the sole of the foot is pressing into a wall. And then just find the flex through the foot. So pointing the toes out behind, flexing into the foot. Let's take 4 more of those. Noticing any differences. And then flexing back into the foot, push through the heel once more. And then just bend into the knee. So draw the foot towards you. Squeeze the hamstring and then send it back out. Let's take 4 more, nice and easy. With your breath, so exhale as you send it back out. 2 more. Last one. So then gently shift more weight into that left leg, release the bricks, and with control, reaching forward, lowering that back leg down, toes touch the floor, roll back so that both heels are down onto the mat, sending the arms up towards the ceiling, palms together in that Anjali Mudra. Find your pyramid. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you, interlace the fingers. Send the heart forward, then fold over that front leg. Find your humble pyramid here. Moving with our breath. Inhale as you come up. Reach the arms towards the ceiling. Exhale. Find that humble pyramid, folding over the front leg. 2 more with a rhythm of your own breath. If you can make it as controlled as you possibly can. Last fold here. Inhale as you come all the way back up, palms come together. And then bend into that front knee, use the toes to shift the weight back into that left leg. And as you come up to standing, lift the right knee with you. So find that hand to big toe variation, lifting the knee up towards the hip. Take a nice deep breath, grow nice and tall. Nice deep breath out. And then see if you can take the knee out to the side, squeezing the glutes to make that happen. We're nice and strong in the legs. And then when you're ready, bringing yourself into that tree position. Use a helping hand if you need it. Drawing the heel or the sole of the foot either above into the thigh or lower down into the calf. You can use any variation of this. So find what suits you, your energy for today. Maybe that means that the heel is into the ankle, the toes on the floor. Maybe you have a hand against the wall. Wherever you are, you can activate the glutes and draw that right knee out to the side. Take another breath. Maybe you open the arms up. And then on the exhale, draw everything back to that center line, dropping the foot down into the mat to find a forward fold. Bending into the legs. And then on an inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale as you curl all the way up to standing, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, heart center. Last side. When you're ready, taking it as easily as you possibly can do on yourself and your energy. Exhale through heart center. Bend the knees as you fold. Inhale to find a halfway lift. Bring the hands to the bricks. Lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the backs of the legs. Draw the belly button in, send the sternum out in front. Take a nice deep breath there. And then on the exhale, bending back into the knees, find a forward fold. Coming into that deeper stretch now, so wrap the fingers around the big toe, palms face together towards one another, and then send the heart forward, lift the hips behind you, lengthen into the back of the legs, and then on exhale, squeeze belly towards thighs. It might not feel like you've gotten very far with that. Let the head hang here. See if you can turn the sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Just a touch more. Take one more breath. Squeeze a little more towards the thighs. And then on the exhale, releasing, bending back into the knees. Find that forward fold. And then bring the palms back to your brick. Find that stance, that stability. Shift the weight into the right foot this time. Lengthen through the spine and then gently raising that left leg up as high as feels comfortable. So adjust as needed. Hips stay facing down towards the mat. Find your supported warrior three. Take a nice deep breath there. Keep pushing the mat away from you with that right sole of the foot. Push into the heel that's lifted. And then just finding those little toe points. So pointing through the toes on that left foot, flexing into the ankle. Let's take 4 more. And just tuning into that whole back line down the left leg. What sensations can you tune into here? What can you notice? Maybe there's a sense of ease into the calf muscle this time. Last one. Flexing into the foot. We'll take a bend into the knee. So drawing the heel towards the bum. Squeeze the hamstring there. Exhale as you extend it back out. Take 2 more. Everything's staying exactly the same. Isolating this movement. And then once you've done that last one, shift the weight into the right leg. Let go of the bricks, reach the arms forward, and with control, gently lower the back toes down, rolling through the feet. Heels come down onto the ground there. Palms come together up overhead, reach towards the ceiling. Anjali Mudra. Take a nice deep breath. On the exhale, take the arms behind you, interlace the fingers. Send yourself through the heart space and then fold over that front leg. Exhaling as we go, take the arms up towards the ceiling if you can. 3 more with your breath. Inhale, drawing ourselves upwards, arms follow, Anjali Mudra. Exhale, interlace the fingers. You can take it that weird way, the opposite way to before, folding over the front leg. Inhale to come up, 2 more. Interlace the fingers and fold. Last one. Rising up nicely with control, grounding down through the heels. Exhale, interlace the fingers and fold. Inhale, bring the palms up. Keep them reaching towards the ceiling. Then bend into the right knee. Shift the weight, use toes to make that happen. Press through the right foot as you lift that left knee up towards your hip. Finding our hand to big toe variation here. Take a nice deep breath, grow tall. Press through the sole of the right foot. And on the exhale, take the knee out to the side. So squeeze into the glutes. Find that opening, that stability. And then if you need a helping hand, drawing the sole of the foot to the inside seam of the right leg. So that might be the top, the thigh, the calf, or even down at the ankle. And you can take any variation. As always, hand at wall. The toes come down onto the floor maybe. You can take the hands wherever you need them to be for balance. Maybe if you're challenging it today and you've got that energy, you can take the arms out into your tree. Take a nice deep breath there. See if you can grow even taller. On the exhale, gently drawing everything back to the center. And then letting everything down towards the mat. Folding over the legs. Nice deep bend. Inhale into that halfway lift, using the bricks. Exhale as you fold. And then from here, we're going to come into a yogi squat. So you can walk the feet out about hip width apart, 45-degree angle. And then sit the bum down, but we're going to bring our bricks in underneath. So just stacking the bricks right underneath the sitting bones to sit our bum down. So find a comfortable position. There's a couple of options here. So this is where we're going to start to really draw down that energy into our yin postures. So I'll turn to face so you can see. There's a couple of options here. If you're quite comfortable sat on 2 bricks, you can take the knees out wide. You can also come to the very base of the wall and lean into the wall there as well. And if this is too high for you, your other option is to come down onto a mat and just take the legs out nice and wide. So find what suits for you. And stick with those bricks. And then if it's available to you, you can start to bring the elbows to the inside of the knees. Bring the hands back into that Anjali Mudra, heart center. Just allow yourself to settle here. Allow the elbows to support the knees to support the elbows. The spine is nice and tall. And just allowing that sense of drawing inwards. So maybe you close down the eyes. Maybe you drop the head. Just allowing a sense of drawing downwards into this grounding posture. Nice deep breath there. Notice that shift in energy. And as you start to draw down into the yin, noticing how the yin supports the yang, and the yang gives life and energy to the yin. Take a couple more breaths. And gently, when you're ready to come out, releasing the hands, releasing the elbows. You can find whatever movement feels good here. So maybe just swaying the legs from side to side. And then we're going to come further down into our seated position from here. So coming off the bricks, if that's where you're at. We're just going to allow ourselves to bring our props back in. So I'm going to bring my bolster and I'm going to bring a couple of bricks as well. There's a couple of options here. I'm going to come into a wide-legged seated position, so Upavishta Konasana. And you can either find a forward fold into kickstand, into the hands, and not use any props, if that's okay for you. You can do the same, but then bring in some props, so you can lift up perhaps the bolster onto two bricks there, and allow yourself to fold forward. You can also take it the opposite way and lean into a higher at the other end. Or you can keep building up until you have this little stack. So another option would be to stack some bricks on top of one another and allow the forehead to come onto the bricks. If that's too high, you can take one out. So just finding what suits you, where you can feel supported. So the whole idea here is that we're taking the legs out, that's 60% of our full range of motion, and then just finding whatever we can to lift the mat up to our head to support us there. I'm going to stick with this variation. And what we're looking for is this nice gentle rounding into the upper back. You can rest the arms down wherever they feel most comfortable. But just really allowing that sense of rounding to the upper back, curling its way round to the forehead, that whole bladder line being nourished here. Just allow yourself to settle into whatever position has come to feel supportive. And see if you can start to relax into the feet. To the legs and the arms. And finding this draping position of the shoulders. Invite you here to close down the eyes. As we start to draw into that deep rest,
It helps support all other elements and support our yang. Notice that stillness starting to come through. See if you can lean into it just a little more. Really starting to take note of any areas that can release here. Take a couple more breaths here. Allowing yourself to start to think about moving out of this position. Going nice and gently, being careful not to disturb ourselves too much. Just lifting out of that forward fold, releasing ourselves from any props. And just gently taking the time to move the props out of the way. And just bring the soles of the feet together in front of you. I'm just going to find a forward fold here, but then make our way into our Baddha-Konasana. So the soles of the feet are together. You can just slide the thumbs in there. And knees are going out to the side. I'm going to stay here too long. If you do want to prop yourself up with some bricks, then feel free to take that option. Just bring them underneath the thighs. And then from here, you can bring the thumbs to the very center, our kidney one acupuncture on the sole of the feet. So if you find your big toe, big knuckle, drop off that knuckle right underneath and then just walk the thumbs to the center of the foot. And that should locate you to your kidney one, which is a really nice, nourishing acupressure point for the water element. Helps us to descend chi and all that energy out from ruminating thoughts, busy minds. So you can just press into that, or you can massage into it. Maybe find some circles. And if it tends to be a little tender here for you, then it might be an indication to work with this point more frequently. You don't have to go too hard. The gentle massage will do. And if you do find that tender spot, maybe just holding it there. Still keeping this sense of a forward fold rounding into the upper back. You're welcome to close the eyes if that feels good. Taking a nice deep breath. And when you're feeling ready to make our way into our final position for relaxation, we'll keep our feet in this position. I'm going to move around so that you can see me from the side. We're going to take the bricks stacked at the bottom of our mat. And we're just going to bring the feet onto the bricks. So you can take any height of the bricks that feels comfortable. So if you get into this and you realize that it's a little bit too high, then you're very welcome to take it down to one brick. Another option that you might want to have is your eye pillows or blankets to keep you warm. I'll take one down here onto my back. You can take one over the top of you as well. So just bring the soles of the feet onto the brick. Drop the knees out to the side, soles of the feet come together straight into that Baddha Konasana. And then just allow yourself to walk yourself back onto your elbows, coming down into a reclined position. And just letting the knees drop out to the side there. Allowing ourselves to land into a position that feels sustainable here. And it might be that you take the bricks out of this position completely. And you lower down the bricks to a lower height. You can also work with a folded blanket here as well if your brick's too high or you want some softness underneath the feet. And just finding what works for you. It's a really nice position to have both the nourishing quality of the water elements and the meridians, but it's also got that restful quality with the elevation of the feet. Allowing all the energy that we've worked through to level out, nourish the rest of the body. Allowing yourself to settle here in this restorative posture. Welcoming in that rest. Inviting in the time to be spent in this restful position. Allowing the back of the neck to relax. And the back of the head to be supported by the ground beneath you. Just the whole back line. Grounding into the earth. Allow the breath to settle here. And if it feels better for you to rest the mind on the breath, free to take that option. Allow yourself to stay here for as long as you can allow. Bringing in that nourishment, deep rest. Until next time. Namaste.